In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental.
And 8052, shooting just occurred. Approximately 10 shots heard and an unknown person shouting code 3 incident 1920 RD809 semi-traditional.
People are alleging is Rihanna is a key material witness into this whole trafficking scheme or plot or whatever that Roc Nation and Jay-Z himself have been carrying out.
Guys, things are getting very scary because people have now put together that both Rihanna and Nicki Minaj's homes in California have both been targeted recently.
On March 8th, 2026, a woman named Ivanna Ortiz pulled up to Rihanna's house in Beverly Hills with an AR-15 and fired somewhere between 7 and 10 rounds at the mansion while Rihanna and her 3 kids were inside. But luckily, nobody got hit. Now, as soon as this happened, the official explanation was simple. This woman is a crazy fan with a parasocial relationship. Case closed. And if you looked at the news coverage, you saw videos from Ivanna's social media. And yes, she 100% looks and sounds mentally unstable. Ivanna was calling Rihanna a witch and the devil, and ranting about Rihanna being jealous of her.
Listen, Rihanna, when you die, God is taking me to my future. You want to kill me. Shut the up, okay? Shut the up. Yeah, she's a witch. She's a witch. I'm a watchman. She's a witch. Get that stupid girl out of here. Okay? They can't do this. They can't do this. That's why you got Rihanna over there all jealous. Because how am I, because her faith is the devil. Rihanna's faith is the devil. Okay? I don't like her, and she's always trying to steal from me. And she has not ever put out any music to reach people. She only did her little music thing so that she can do witchcraft. And so that she can steal from people. So everybody, please, don't listen to her. Don't follow her. Don't give that girl any air, space, or time. Because she's stealing from you.
But is that really all there is to it? Or is that exactly what they want you to see? Because when you dig a little deeper, the crazy stalker story starts having some holes. And now people are resurfacing that interview with Katt Williams, where he already warned us about this. You see, Katt has said time and time again that when celebrities randomly pass away, it's not random. It's someone higher up profiting from the tragedy. Now, the question is, who would have something to gain from Rihanna being gone? Well, let's talk about the Live Nation thing first, because that's one of the theories gaining traction online. Turns out that Ivanna Ortiz has an active case against Live Nation. Now, what does this have to do with Rihanna? Well, this may be a stretch, but some people online are connecting this to Rihanna being signed to Roc Nation and her complicated relationship with former mentor, Jay-Z. In 2008, Jay-Z partnered with Live Nation to create Roc Nation as a joint venture, meaning Live Nation is literally the parent company and Roc Nation operates as a subsidiary. Rihanna is still signed to Roc Nation for both management and label services, and her touring deals have been negotiated by Roc Nation's CEO, Desiree Perez. And Desiree will soon testify as a defense witness for Live Nation in their ongoing antitrust trial. For context, the Department of Justice filed an antitrust lawsuit against Live Nation in 2024, trying to force them to split from Ticketmaster. And the government argues Live Nation has an illegal monopoly that drives up ticket prices and hurts competition. So when a case goes to trial, both sides submit witness lists, and Live Nation's defense team put Desiree on their witness list. And the reason Desiree is valuable to them is because she's the CEO of Roc Nation, and she personally negotiated numerous touring partnerships between Roc Nation artists, including Rihanna, and Live Nation over the years. Now, circling back to the woman who hit up Rihanna's house, she has an ongoing legal beef with Live Nation, the same Live Nation that owns Roc Nation, the same Roc Nation whose CEO was literally preparing to defend Live Nation in court. And that CEO personally handles Rihanna's touring deals. So these connections aren't just there, they're documented in federal court records. And now the question is, why? Why is this woman, who supposedly just randomly snapped and targeted Rihanna, already in a legal battle with the same corporation that promotes Rihanna's tours? You see, Ortiz didn't show up in a beat-up Honda with a rusty gun. She had a white Tesla and an AR-15. Those aren't cheap. That's not pocket change. So if she was just some unstable person living in her own world, where did the resources come from? Who funded this?
LAPD taking over the street where for fire at singer Rihanna's home Sunday afternoon. You can see the bullet holes on the gates and investigators placing markers on an Airstream trailer parked inside. Police say the came from an AR-15.
On March 9th, when Ortiz was first arrested and booked, multiple major outlets reported that bail was set at $10.2 million. But here's where it gets confusing. By the time Ortiz appeared in court on March 10th, the LA County District Attorney's official press release stated bail at $1.875 million. Multiple news outlets reported that number after the court appearance. And then CNN reported the 1.8 million figure days later. So what happened? Either the initial reporting was corrected after the official court filing, or the bail was actually reduced. If bail was originally set at $10.2 million and then dropped to $1.8 million, that's a massive reduction that raises questions about what changed in those 24 hours. So with all these bizarre details surfacing about the incident, a lot of people on social media are now speculating that Ivanna Ortiz may have been just a patsy. Someone on X wrote, "Ivanna Ortiz is the patsy in Rihanna's shooting, because there is no way you get a bond at a high-profile celeb with her kid in the house. It's much deeper." And someone else called Ortiz a Hollyweird Tesla Manchurian candidate. People on social media are now speculating that Ortiz might have been picked because she's already mentally unstable. And if you want to send somebody to do something like this, you pick somebody who already has a record of acting unhinged. Somebody who's already been in court fighting the very corporation connected to the target. And this is where Katt Williams comes in with his theory that nothing in this industry is incidental. According to Katt, the people pulling the strings behind the scenes need you to see the surface so you don't look underneath. The public sees crazy and moves on, and the people who actually ordered it can sit back and watch the lone wolf take all the heat.
I'm saying that everything that happens in a business that's based off of pretend that seems like a setup is. In business, nothing is coincidental, or you will be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
So yeah, Ivanna Ortiz might have pulled the trigger, but the question is, who pointed her at Rihanna's house in the first place? How did she even find out the address? And that brings us to another theory that's making the rounds online, the Epstein files. Now, if you've been on social media the last couple of months, you've seen the names floating around. In January 2026, millions of pages of Epstein-related documents were released. And in the chaos that followed, Jay-Z's name started popping up. Jay-Z's name started trending because of something called an FBI hotline report. Back in 2019, somebody called the FBI with an anonymous tip, and that tip mentioned Jay-Z. So let's connect the dots. Rihanna is signed to Roc Nation. Roc Nation is owned by Jay-Z. Roc Nation is a subsidiary of Live Nation, the same Live Nation that Ivanna Ortiz sued last year, and the same Live Nation whose CEO, Desiree Perez, negotiates Rihanna's touring deals and is currently listed as a defense witness in the government's antitrust lawsuit trying to break the company apart. Now, if you're a corporation facing a federal antitrust trial, do you want your biggest artists entangled in all these rumors? Do you want that kind of heat? Or do you want to send a message that nobody should be looking too closely at your connections? Of course, these are all just speculations, but a lot of people on social media are saying the hitter was sent after Rihanna because Rihanna is a liability. She's someone who got flown out by Jay-Z from her native Barbados to New York City when she was just 16. And then he practically forced her to sign a contract with Roc Nation.
We don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it homework.
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So when Rihanna was 16 years old, she flew across country, had a meeting with Jay-Z, where he told her there's only two ways out of here, and that's through that door with the deal signed, or through the window, and we're on the 29th floor. And she was 16 years old. I don't really see the humor in that.
Dad, I know I promised you I'm gonna give you my first Grammy,
but we might have to fight for this one.
She said she wanted to thank everybody for her first Grammy.
Anyway, I'd like to thank Jay-Z for being a part of this record with me.
She'd like to thank Jigga Man for being the greatest in the world.
Definitely a strong sense of ego here, which could be in fact rooted by other things, which is probably why Jaguar Wright said, when are we gonna come to the fact that Rihanna was the T word? Traffic.
So again, how did Ivanna Ortiz, a speech pathologist from Florida, have the resources to drive cross-country in a Tesla with that weapon? Was it just a warning? Because why would she at the gate and not try to break it if the goal was to get Rihanna? Who really benefits if Rihanna is scared into silence? These are just some of the questions no one can answer at this point. And look, maybe people are reading too much into it, and maybe this really is just an ill woman who snapped. But with everything going on in the world, false flags, corruption, Epstein class, all of it, can you really trust the official narrative on anything at this point? But let me hear your theories on all this. Do you think Ivanna Ortiz was acting alone? Or is there something bigger going on behind the scenes? And if somebody did send her, who do you think gave the order? Leave your comments below and stay tuned for the next video.